Andres from Dallas Sports with a quick post-game reaction video. The game isn't even done yet. There's still like about a minute and a half to go. I'm watching it now. Yeah, Maple Leafs. So, I saw them play against the San Jose Sharks. I went to that game, and I made the joke that the Maple Leafs are the Toronto Cowboys. They're the Dallas Cowboys of the NHL. What can go wrong will go wrong. And I said that the Leafs leafed harder than Georgiev could have ever forgived, or 5-gived in that, at least in that game. And then came the playoffs. You know, I said how I was rooting for the Canadian teams in the playoffs since my Sharks aren't in it. And I said, you know, because the Maple Leafs, after, in pretty convincing fashion, after they beat the Ottawa Senators in the round of 16, I said, you know, maybe this year is different. Safe to say I was very dumb in that take, switching from my original take of calling them the Toronto Cowboys, because they are the Toronto Cowboys. The Toronto Maple Leafs are the Dallas Cowboys of the NHL. Same team, different sport. What can go wrong will go wrong in the playoffs. And their ceiling is an occasional, maybe every 2 to 3 years, a quarterfinal. Every 3 to 4 years, a quarterfinal appearance. But outside of that, they'll just find creative ways to lose in the round of 16. The Toronto Maple Leafs are exactly who I initially had thought they were. I don't think I've ever seen a team with so much talent do so much less and find such creative ways to choke and not perform in their home arena. Game just ended right now, 6-1. The Florida Panthers just absolutely went belt to ass on the Maple Leafs. Just, wow. I don't even know how you can be a Maple Leafs fan after this. This is just abysmal. But I'll tell you one thing. If you're a Boston Bruins fan, I mean, you got to feel like you won the series. You got to feel like you also won the series as well, because you traded Brad Marchand to the Florida Panthers, and Brad Marchand had a really good game. He had 2 assists. So, even when they're not in the playoffs, the Bruins still somehow find a way to be the eternal father of the Maple Leafs. But yeah, Maple Leafs are out. That leaves only one Canadian team still in the playoffs as they enter the semifinals. It'll be the Carolina Hurricanes versus the Florida Panthers. That'll be an interesting matchup. The Panthers and their physicality against the Carolina Hurricanes and a very tough defense. And then on the other end of the bracket, you're going to have Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers taking on Pete DeBoer's Dallas Stars. That will be another great matchup. It's like having 2 Stanley Cup final matchups, really. I mean, these 4 teams are really, really strong. But I'll tell you one team that is not strong, that is not elite, and if anything, are probably the NHL's biggest frauds, the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll see what happens this offseason, but you imagine there's going to be a lot of frustration because this was probably the Maple Leafs' best year, only their best chance, their best window to finally make it to the semifinals and prove, no, we are not the Dak Prescott, the Micah Parsons, the Dallas Cowboys of the NHL, only to show that that is exactly what they truly are. Again.